In this alternate timeline, the Galactic Empire was even stronger. The rebellion stood no chance and was completely wiped out. As the Empire grew and grew, it eventually controlled the entire galaxy, but Palpatine wanted more, and he was searching for something else to conquer, for another realm to take over. As one day, Vader would be called to Palpatine's throne. As Vader would slowly walk up to him, he would then bow. Palpatine would say, "Hello, my apprentice. I have discovered a new dimension for us to take over." Vader was shocked. A whole new dimension? Vader would get up and say, "Is that so?" "Yes. This dimension is some sort of hell dimension. It's not our hell, but it's full of different things. We discovered it with a portal. It was somewhere between the world between worlds. Now, we can take it over." Vader would nod and say, "Yes, master." As then, we would cut to hell. With it cut into hell, Charlie and Vaggie would be sitting on the couch. As this was after Adam and all that, Vaggie would say, "I hope we can finally have some boring peacetime." Charlie would say, "Don't worry, Vaggie. With the angels gone, everything will be peaceful now." As then, Angel Dust would go and sit next to them as they watched TV. As they're having a good time, Nifty would walk up and turn on her watch. "Hello? Hello? Is this thing on?" Palpatine would say, "Yes, it is. You're such a bad boy. Hee hee hee." Palpatine would then say, "Do you have the agreement?" "Yes. The angelic weapons are ready." "Excellent." As Darth Vader was sent to hell, his plan was to gather the angelic weapons and to make blasters out of them. They would melt down the material and learn what they're made of, to hopefully make a blaster version that can destroy souls. As Darth Vader went there to collect the weapons, someone would catch his eye. He would see someone. It was Jestiel. Jestiel could tell this person was powerful, and he could sense a human form. So he followed him. Darth Vader would turn around and say, "Who's following me?" Vader would slowly approach him, expecting him to act scared or anything, but Vader simply looked at him. As then he would say, "I guess I can't tell your express under that mask, but I can tell you're not really that scared. I'm Jestiel, you know." Vader would say, "I don't care who you are. Get out of my way." As then Jestiel would get pissed. "You don't know who I am." As then he would shoot fire right at Vader. Green fire. As his fire would make him have a flashback of the lava on Mustafar, as he fell into the lava and screamed in pain and agony. As then we flash back, as Vader would say, "Interesting." As he would use the Force to pick him up, Jestiel would try to move but can't. He would say, "What is this?" "This is the power of the dark side. A power far beyond what you could master." As then he would use the Force to snap his neck. "Shame. My master says you'll come back in reincarnation. Oh well." As then he would go over to the weapons. As Nifty stole a bunch of the weapons after the battle, he would meet up with Nifty. "Are these all the weapons?" "Yep. Yes, they are. Hee hee hee. You look cool in that outfit." Vader would say, "It's a suit." He was told not to destroy Nifty, even though Nifty was getting on his nerves. As Vader started to walk back, Nifty would say, "Why do you wear it?" "It keeps me alive on life support." "Life support? Why don't you heal it with magic?" As then Vader would stop. Could he really be healed? Could he really get his potential back? He would turn back to Nifty and say, "Do you know how?" "Yeah, next time I'm here, show me, and don't tell anyone," Vader would say as he walked through the portal. As then, the Galactic Empire would take these weapons and melt them down, to try to figure out how to make a weapon to destroy a sinner. The Empire had one big advantage: time. They could take all the time they needed, as they outfitted them and tested out magic, capturing a few of them, and destroying anyone who saw. They needed to stay hidden and learn how to deal with it. They made armor that was able to deal with very weak magic, but not any of the stronger stuff. That's okay. Their soldiers are dispendable anyway, as they actually made weapons with lasers able to melt sinners' souls. As the time was right, Palpatine and Vader would walk side by side, as Palpatine would say, "So, you've been there on a few missions. Tell me, do you think we can succeed?" Vader would stare at Palpatine. If you could see his face, it would be a bright smile on it, as he has an idea how to overthrow him. This entire place, this entire invasion, was just Vader's way of getting rid of Palpatine. Ironic how Palpatine started it. Vader would nod and say, "Success is the only outcome." Palpatine would say, "Good, very good." As they would gather the army, Vader would launch the invasion, as stormtroopers would go throughout the town, taking it over. However, that was not Vader's main purpose. All this was a distraction. As Vader would go to the hotel, he would knock down the door with the Force. Alistair would get ready to fight, as he would use the Force to pick him up and launch him through a wall. As Vaggie grabbed her weapon, Vader would say, "Take me to Lucifer." Charlie would say, "What do you want with my dad? Who are you?" "I need healing. Do it, and I'll save you all." As Darth Vader said this, Charlie's eyes would turn red. As Alistair would come back in his giant form, he would try to stomp on Vader, but he would simply cut off his leg as he fell to the floor. "I just used a lightsaber. Destroy yourself and you'll be reincarnated. Now come with me, Charlie." Charlie would say, "Why would I follow you? Because I'm your only hope." As he would turn on the news, it showed stormtroopers destroying cities, hell and chaos. As Charlie began to shake, she could try to fight him, but maybe her and Lucifer can deal with them. Besides, he wasn't attacking her. So Charlie reluctantly agreed, as then she would take Vader into Lucifer's home. As Lucifer would open the door, he would then turn to his demonic form. "Charlie, do you know what that is?" "Well, I don't, but whatever that thing is," Vader would say, "can you heal me?" As he would take off his mask and his burnt face, as he dropped his lightsaber gun on his knees, as then the entire ground would shake as walkers came in, soldiers, blasters, all around them. Miles away, but they could still see him. Lucifer would say, "Why should I help you? If you heal me, I'll stop my master, the Emperor of another galaxy." Lucifer would be tempted, as he would say, "Very well." Now he thought about just destroying Vader and having him come back as a sinner. He'll be far more powerful. That could backfire easily. So he decided to just heal him. As he took him inside, Charlie would say, "Are you sure this is a good idea, Dad?" Lucifer would say, "No, but it's the only one we have." As then he would grab on to Vader and begin to heal him as his skin turned back to normal. He would then put on the mask. It was extremely painful now that he was healed, even more than normal, but he had to keep up this act. He couldn't let his master know. As his force potential and everything slowly began to come back, it was all so new to him. He was in that suit for so long, being out of it would be weird. As then he would walk away. As he walked to the army was like, "What are orders, sir?" "Hold your ground. I'll be back in a bit," he would say. As everyone was shocked, they were winning. The enemy was falling back. Holding their ground would be a foolish decision. As Tarkin would walk up and say, "Vader, we can't." "Follow my orders. Understand?" Tarkin would nod, as then he would walk off. As he walked out of the portal, he would then get a call. As then he would pull it out, seeing a hologram of Palpatine. "My apprentice, I can feel a new power come out from you. You discovered something from that dimension, yes? That is very good. You are a true Sith. However, I did not order you to walk out of there." Why did Vader would then say, "Shut up. I will come over there and kill you unless you come here and make my job easier. Bring whatever you want, I will still win." As then, Palpatine would get angry and say, "You're making a mistake, my apprentice. This time, I will not let you live." As then, the transmission would end. As Vader would simply stand there and wait for Palpatine. As he would train and train and train and get used to fighting out of his suit. As then, he would take off his suit and hide in the shadows. Palpatine had no idea he was healed. He would use that to his advantage. As eventually Palpatine and the Royal Guard would land. As they all started to walk in, suddenly the Royal Guard would be force pushed off the edge as Vader showed up with his skin healed. He was a little scared, but he knew that Anakin wasted his potential. Even before he got burnt, he relied on his lightsaber way too much. He could have mastered extremely powerful force abilities, but he didn't. He just relied on that stupid lightsaber, and when he was Vader, he had no choice but to rely on it. Sure, he could force choke and other things, but the true force abilities he could have mastered, he didn't. Vader was a true waste of a chosen one in Palpatine's opinion, and he was gonna prove it. As then Palpatine would use Force Lightning on Vader, Vader would then begin to block it. As then he said, "Your lightning won't affect me anymore." Palpatine would say, "Don't be so sure, my arrogant apprentice. It's time I put you in your place once and for all." As then we cut back to Tarkin. Tarkin would ignore Vader's orders and decide to charge in. Tarkin and Vader were somewhat close and somewhat enemies. They had a very interesting relationship, but he knew the Emperor wanted him to conquer, and he could feel that Vader was committed treason, so he followed the Emperor instead of him. Now, maybe he would have followed Vader instead if he was told about this, but for now, he just didn't think Vader could ever beat Palpatine. So to save his own skin, he decided to charge. As the walkers and AT-ATs began to destroy buildings and everything around them, as then Charlie, Vaggie, and Lucifer would meet up to come up with a plan. Charlie would begin to burrow and fly underground, destroying the concrete, as so did Lucifer, as their plan was to hit them from underground, as suddenly giant holes would be cut in the street, causing the walkers and the AT-ATs to tumble over, as then they would come up and slaughter them one by one and going back down, using hit and run tactics. As the Empire couldn't see them, suddenly people would go on the rooftop and throw down spears and other items. The Empire would then shoot down the spears and shoot down the buildings, causing a bloody battle. As they would strike and run, the Empire would blast, trying to destroy everything around it. It was nothing but chaos, nothing but bloodshed, but Charlie and Lucifer were simply too fast. If they had Vader and other Force users, this could be a different story, but just normal men were no match. As Charlie and Lucifer would make quick work of them, Tarkin would try to leave, but Charlie would grab him by the neck and snap it as he fell to the floor. Charlie would say, "Oh my god, I just snapped someone's neck. Oh my god, I killed so many people." Lucifer would say, "Hey, you did what you had to." As then he smiled at her, she would smile back. As then we cut back to Vader and Palpatine. Would pick up Anakin with the Force and begin to throw him around as he shot him with lightning. "You have more potential than me, but you focus too much on the lightsaber. You're wasted your ears. You're an idiot. You wasted everything." As then Anakin would say, "Shut up. I am new. I am Vader." As then he would shoot his lightning, as he would hit Palpatine and turn red, as Palpatine would look up and say, "How do you have this much power? I never merely mastered it. You're right, but I've seen you use Force Lightning over and over again. I've got that burnt into my mind. I've even practiced, but it would hurt too much in the suit to use, but now I can use it just fine." As the red Force Lightning would melt away Palpatine, Vader would simply leave, abandoning the portal in the army to go rule the galaxy. As then we cut to the has-been world. As Palpatine's body and Force essence wouldn't be able to go to his clone on Exegol. Instead, it would get sucked into the portal, being reincarnated into a sinner, as now Palpatine was in the has-been hotel. And that's going to leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Hope you all enjoyed this video. And, yeah. I thank you so much for suggesting this. You mean the world to me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Peace out.